Good morning everyone. I hope all of you are preparing well for your IBPS examination and going through all the sessions that we are doing for you. Right. We have covered for you puzzle topics starting from the basic ones on tabulation advanced, and also I have covered in my last session the topic of seating arrangement, but that was linear seating arrangement. Now today what I am going to cover for you is the topic of circular seating arrangement. If you look at the papers of 2015, 16 and 17, then you can say that from seating arrangement the major type of question is circular seating arrangement. Suppose if you take the last 3 years paper, you will say that almost 80% of the seating arrangement questions were based on circular seating arrangement, right? Both basic level, average level and the advanced level. That is why this is again a very important concept for you that you must master. Right, in every paper, in the prelims paper you can expect around 10 questions from circular seating arrangement, and the mains examination can go up to 15 questions also, right. The circular seating arrangement I will be covering for you in 2 sessions. Today I am doing the first session in which I am doing the basic level of circular seating arrangement, and then the next session which I do, I will be covering for you the advanced level of circular seating arrangement questions. Okay. So first of all, let's first of all discuss the previous session CPP question. The goals for this class is to understand the circular seating arrangement questions and also mainly to understand approach based. Our focus has always been to mainly look at approach, understand how the problem should be solved in the examination, what are the right steps to be taken. ठीक है, the question है उसमें आप approach में major focus करिए. ठीक है, थ्रू आउट सारे वीडियो सेशंस जब आप देखते हैं तो उसमें आपका ध्यान होना चाहिए अप्रोच पे, मेथड क्या यूज़ हो रहा है और उसको हम लोग कैसे सॉल्व कर रहे हैं, क्या डिफ़िकल्टी लेवल है और क्या टाइम लगता है क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करने में. तो जो डिस्कशन है, जो अंडरस्टैंडिंग है कॉन्सेप्ट का, वो मेनली डेवलप होना चाहिए प्रॉब्लम डिस्कशन के साथ. तो लेट्स फर्स्ट सी प्रीवियस सेशन CPP क्वेश्चन. ये क्वेश्चन जो है वो अरेंजमेंट का है, जहाँ पे वी हैव फ्लोर अरेंजमेंट, राइट. And most students who attempted this question got the answer as E, that is indeterminable. Now we will see how to solve this question and why the answer is not E. And although it's not a very difficult question, but it is a good question of taking cases in solving a arrangement question. This is a vertical arrangement, floor arrangement question. So this question में दिया क्या है, 5 friends are there, A, B, C, D and E, who live on distinct floors of a 5-floor building. The ground floor is numbered 1, the first floor is numbered 2 and so on. The top floor is numbered 5. Now we have some clues here. A lives 2 floors above the floor in which D lives. तो ये आपका first clue हो गया. So A lives 2 floors above the floor on which D lives. What we don't know is the floor number of D, but we know A will live 2 floors above D. For example, if D is on floor 1, then A will be on floor 3. So 2 floors, second floor, third floor, clear. So the gap will be 1 floor will be between them, that you have to understand. Second is C lives immediately above the floor on which E lives. Immediately above means right next. So if suppose E is on 1, then C will be on 2. If E is on 2, then C will be on 3, like that, you know. And finally we have B lives above the floor on which E lives. Not immediately above, but above. It could be right above or it can be some gap, but definitely B is on a higher floor number as compared to E. That is what this third clue tells us. The thing is that in this very short question we don't know the floor, or we don't have direct information about the floor on which anyone lives. किसी के बारे में भी direct information नहीं है कि कौन सा आदमी किस फ्लोर पर रह रहा है. सभी relative information हमारे पास. That is what makes this question complex. When we are working with relative information, we have to work on cases. तो यहाँ आंसर तो दिया हुआ है कि 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, A is on 5, B is on 4, D is on 3, C is on 2 and E is on 1. It satisfies all the conditions given to you in the question, and the answer is C for the question number 6. But is this the only arrangement or there can be other arrangements? How did we come to this? Let's just see this. It's an important question that I am discussing in detail. The solution for the CPP question. Okay, so what we need to do while solving questions like these is to make sure that we take cases. आप एग्जाम में जल्दी से 2-3 बॉक्सेस बना लीजिए ताकि आपको केस लेने में आसानी हो। मोस्ट क्वेश्चंस जो आते हैं आजकल एग्जाम में उसमें केस होता ही होता है, ठीक है। आपके रफ शीट ऑफ पेपर है, आप 2 सर्कल बना लीजिए या 2 टेबल बना लीजिए ताकि केस लेने में आपको कोई दिक्कत ना आए, ठीक है। अभी आप स्टार्ट करिए फर्स्ट क्लू से। ए लिव्स 2 फ्लोर अबव द फ्लोर ऑन विच डी लिव्स। डी कौन से फ्लोर पे है पता नहीं है, ए भी पता नहीं है हमें, तो इससे अभी स्टार्ट नहीं करेंगे इस क्लू से। हम लोग स्टार्ट करेंगे क्लू नंबर 2 से। सी लिव्स इमीडिएटली अबव द फ्लोर ऑन विच ई लिव्स। सी जो है ठीक ई के ऊपर है, तो ऑप्शंस क्या है हमारे पास। एक ऑप्शन तो है कि हम लोग ई को डाल देंगे 1 पे और सी चला जाएगा 2 पे, तो सी इज इमीडिएटली अबव ई। सेकंड ऑप्शन क्या हो सकता है, वी कैन प्लेस सी ऑन 3 and E on 2. Clear? That is also one option. Or we can even say that C can be on 4 and E can be on 3. सिर्फ यही 3 ऑप्शन है, फोर्थ ऑप्शन नहीं। हम we can't take C on 5 and E on 4. This we can't take. Why? Because we know that B lives above the floor on which E lives. तो इस केस में अगर हम लेते हैं 5 4 3 2 1 और इफ आई टेक C in 5 and E in 4, तो B के लिए कोई जगह नहीं है, there is no place to put B. That is why I am not taking this fourth case. It is not feasible in the question. तो 3 केस ले लिया हमने, टाइम स्पेंड नहीं किया। Immediately we took EC, E in 1, C in 2, E in 2, C in 3, E in 3, C in 4. तो थर्ड केस में B तो डेफिनेटली 5 पे होगा क्योंकि B lives above the floor on which E lives. Clear? Now इन दी सेकेंड केस ना इसमें देखते हैं बी कहाँ जा सकता है। बी या तो फोर्थ में आ सकता है या फिफ्थ में जा सकता है। 2 ऑप्शंस हैं बी के लिए, बिकॉज बी लिव्स ऑन अ फ्लोर अबव द फ्लोर ऑन विच ई लिव्स, तो बी हैज टू बी ऑन 4 and 5। बट अभी इस सेकंड केस में फर्स्ट केस थर्ड केस तो कैंसिल हो गया डेफिनेटली। इस सेकंड केस में आप फर्स्ट क्लू पे देखिए, ए लिव्स 2 फ्लोर्स अबव द फ्लोर ऑन विच डी लिव्स, ठीक है। तो A यहाँ तो नहीं आ सकता है क्योंकि D lives, A lives, sorry, we can't take D here, D, A नहीं, D, we can't take D here because A lives 2 floors above D. अभी A कहाँ डालेंगे आप, where will you place A if you put D in the 4th floor? So this is not possible. D cannot come here also. Okay, so there is only one place for D, this one. Now A lives 2 floors above D, so A must be in the place of C, which is not possible because C that is already occupied. So ये second case भी cancel हो जाएगा. So only one case is possible there. That is the first case, in which D has to be on floor number 3, A has to be on floor number 5 because A lives 2 floors above the floor on which D lives, and that leaves us with only floor number 4 that can be taken by B, and that's very clear. That the answer is, the order is A, B, D, C, E, which you can see in this solution also. So definitely the answer is not indeterminable. The answer is determinable, and we can clearly say who lives on floor, on which floor just based on these 3 clues. And remember the challenge here was that we did not have any direct clue. We did not have any direct information. All the information that we have was relative. So relation दिया था एक फ्लोर एक पर्सन का दूसरे पर्सन के साथ इन टर्म्स ऑफ द फ्लोर्स ऑन विच दे लिव, बट नो डायरेक्ट क्लू। तो केस लिया हमने, 3 केस लेके इमीडिएटली सॉल्व हो गया ये क्वेश्चन। सो आंसर इज हु लिव्स ऑन द सेकंड फ्लोर, द आंसर इज सी, सो दिस आंसर इज आंसर ऑप्शन सी, ठीक है। सो यू ऑब्जर्व हाउ वी टेक केसेस एंड सॉल्व क्वेश्चंस लाइक दीज इन द एग्जाम, एंड दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। Among linear seating arrangement right now, floor arrangement is the most common type of question that can come in the exam. That also you can note down. So in every class I tell you what are most important questions and which areas are more important with respect to the current examination and the current difficulty level, so that your preparation is more focused and directed. आप रैंडम प्रिपरेशन करिएगा तो आपका एग्जाम निकलना थोड़ा संभावना कम हो जाएगी क्योंकि यहाँ पे टाइम बहुत कम है। इन प्रीलिम्स एग्जामिनेशन बार बार मैंने बताया आपको कि प्रीलिम एग्जाम्स में सिर्फ 60 मिनट्स होता है और इस साल से वी हैव सेक्शनल टाइम आउट। जब सेक्शनल टाइम आउट आ जाता है तो आपके चैलेंजेस और बढ़ जाते हैं क्योंकि आपके पास सिर्फ 20 मिनट्स है नाउ टू अटेम्प्ट द 35 क्वेश्चंस, और रीजनिंग क्वेश्चंस कैन बी टाइम टेकिंग। सो हाउ डू यू सिलेक्ट क्वेश्चंस, हाउ डू यू चूज क्वेश्चंस एंड व्हाट अप्रोच यू हैव, ऑल दिस थिंग्स विल बिकम वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, ठीक है। So let's now start with the understanding of circular arrangement. Circular arrangement तो नाम से पता चल जाता है कि वी हैव टू अरेंज थिंग्स अराउंड अ सर्कल. एक सर्कुलर टेबल है, सपोज यू कैन से सर्कुलर टेबल इज देयर and say there are 6 persons sitting around the circular table. So always when we start with this, the 6 persons are seated around a circular table, right? So make a circle while solving the question in the examination. Make the circle and make 6 positions for the 6 persons as equidistant as possible. जितना आप इसको नीटली बना सकते हैं एग्जाम में, रफ हैंड बनाइए लेकिन नीटली बनाइए. तो हमारे पास 6 पर्सन्स है, 1 2 3 4 5 और 6. So आप एक डायग्राम बना लीजिए पहले. First step will always be to make the diagram. The 6 persons A, B, C, D, E, F, let's say A, B, C, D, E and F. These are the 6 persons who are seated around a circular table. So our first step will always be to observe this. Second step क्या है? To observe what is given to us with respect to direction. यहाँ पर direction बहुत important है, correct? So say they are facing, suppose the persons are facing, the two things are there. One, facing towards the center. If the persons are facing towards the center, what does it mean? All the 6 persons are facing towards the center. So जैसे यहाँ पे ये बैठा है, he is facing towards the center. All the persons are facing towards the center. So if the persons are facing towards the center, which side will be your right, which side will be your left? So let's take this question. A, B, C, D, E and F are sitting around a circle. All of them are facing the center. A is sitting, let's say this thing is there, A is sitting second to the right of D, second to the right of D. Normally this is how a clue will be there in your exam, right of D. So position of A is given to you with respect to position of D and not vice versa. It is not the position of D given to you with respect to A. Okay. So often ज़्यादातर लोग गलती करते हैं एग्जाम में, जहाँ पे A की पोजीशन दी हुई है D को लेके, आप D की पोजीशन ले लेते हैं A को लेके. ठीक है. So A is seated second to the right of D, not D is seated second right of A. तो ये मैं बता रहा हूँ आपको, ये गलती होती है और आम तरह होती है ये ज़्यादातर. Okay, most people do this mistake. So A is sitting second to the right of D and all of them are facing the center. So हम start कैसे करेंगे question solve करना. जो D है, I will place him. I always start from here. You can have your own personal choice. I always start from the top. So you can place D anywhere you want. That's what I am trying to say. You can place D anywhere you want. I choose D always the first person I place on the topmost position here. Okay. So A is sitting second to the right of D. All of them are facing the center. Now the question is, which side is right of D? Is this side right of D or this side right of D? So what is given to us is that all of them are facing the center. So आप imagine करिए D is facing the center. So the right hand किस side होगा? इस side होगा. This is his right hand and this is his left hand. Okay. So right is in anti-clockwise direction and left is in clockwise direction. So that you have to understand here, anti-clockwise and clockwise. So A is sitting second to the right of D. So this is first to the right. This is second to the right. So A is in this position with respect to D. That is what we have to understand from this particular statement. So what have we learned about facing towards the center? When a person is facing the center like this, right is in anti-clockwise direction and left is in clockwise. You should understand the meaning of anti-clockwise and clockwise. So you know how the clock goes, right? The direction in which the hands of the clock move, right? So if you go in the opposite direction of that, that is called as anti-clockwise. And if you go in the direction in which the hands of a clock, the minute hand होता है और hour hand होता है, वो कैसे move करते हैं? If you go in that direction, then it is called clockwise. Okay? So यहाँ पे क्या है? Right जो है वो anti-clockwise है और लेफ्ट जो है वो क्लॉकवाइज है. दिस इज व्हाट वी हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड. ये पहला केस लिया हमने, persons are facing towards the center. Now if you take the second case, 6 persons are there facing away from the center, facing away from the center or facing opposite to the center. Clear? So away, or you can say opposite. Okay, so facing opposite to the center or away from the center. So let's say there are 6 persons, A, B, C, D, E and F. So again the first step जो है वो यहाँ पे, again the first step is always to make a circle and make 6 positions equidistant, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now all of them are facing away from the center, they are not facing towards. ये arrow जो है ये बता रहा है वो किस side face कर रहे हैं. They are facing away from the center. Now if I take the same clue which I had taken in the previous case, that A is sitting second to the right of D, second to the right of D. A is sitting second to the right of D. So as I told you, I always start with the topmost position, so D will go here. Now the question is, which side is right of D? Is this side right or is this side right? Again, you imagine yourself sitting in this place, which side will be your right hand? Your right hand will be this side. So this is right and this is left. That means now clockwise is right, clockwise is our right here, and anti-clockwise, reverse or counterclockwise is our left. So A is sitting second to the right of D. First right is this position, second right is this position, so D will be here. The same clue, the position of D is changing. Here, here not D, let's change it to A. This is not D, right? This is A. So A is second right of D. So position of A is changing, same clue is there. The clue, the statement is not changing. A is sitting second right of D. In the previous case also A is sitting second right of D, but here A is to this, on this side, and in this diagram A is on this side. So just based on what was the difference in the previous slide and this slide, the way they are facing. In the previous slide they were facing towards the center, and in this we are seeing the case of facing away from the center. So these things we have to keep in mind while solving questions on circular seating arrangement. Now let's take one example question, solve it to understand the application of these things. 6 persons A, B, C, D, E and F are seated around a circular table in no particular order. All the persons are facing towards the center of the table. A is seated second left of F, D and B are seated adjacent to each other, B is neither an immediate neighbor of A nor of F, C is second right of D, E is not an immediate neighbor of F. So there are 5 clues given to us. Based on that there are 3 questions, 1, 2 and 3. We have to solve and get the answer for these questions. So what we will do now is we will take the question and make the setting of the question. 6 persons are there, A, B, C, D, E, F. So we will make 6 positions here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All of them are facing towards the center. So we just make these arrows so that it reminds us that everyone is facing towards the center. Here, no particular order. Let's take the first clue here. A is seated second left of F, so I will start with F here. Now F is facing towards the center, so left is this side, first left and second left. So A is seated second left of F. D and B are seated adjacent to each other. So where can D and B come? There are 2 options for them. One is this option, like D can come here, B can come here, vice versa, or D can come here, B can come here. So this we'll see later about the possible options for D and B. So right now we'll just leave it. D and B are adjacent to each other. B is neither an immediate neighbor of A nor of f. So if B, this is a very important clue here, very helpful clue. If B is neither an immediate neighbor of A nor of f, that what does it mean? It means that B cannot come here, B cannot come here, is not an immediate neighbor. The meaning of immediate neighbor, right next to, ठीक है, उसके बगल में. तो B जो है F के बगल में नहीं है और A के बगल में नहीं है. So B cannot come in these two positions, B also cannot come in this position, right? So this also cannot be B. So what is the only position left for B? Okay, let's just erase this part here. Okay, right. Okay. So what is the only position for B? B is definitely in this position. Okay, that we have got to know now. So what we'll do, we'll just remove this thing. So we have found out the position of B. Now what we know from the previous clue is that D and B are seated adjacent to each other. So that means that there is one option of D going this side or other option of D going this side. So D cannot take any other position. These are the two positions D can take, and C is second right of D. E is not an immediate neighbor of F. So this is the last clue. E is not an immediate neighbor of F. That means E cannot come here, E cannot come here. So these two positions E cannot take. That means E can only take this position. That solves the entire question now, right? So we jumped one clue and then it helped us a lot in solving the question. So E is not an immediate neighbor of F. E can definitely come only in this position. That means D will definitely be here. So we get our final position for D. This is the final position for D. And who is left now? The only person left now is B. B is here. So our entire question is solved. You can see C is second right of D. Not B, sorry, C. The one who is left now is not B, is C. C is second to the right of D. Okay, so D is facing the center. There is some confusion here. 1 second, let's just understand. C is second to the right of D. A is sitting second left of F. F is here, left of F. So A is definitely here. This clue is done. D and B are seated adjacent to each other. D and B are seated adjacent to each other, that we know. And we also know that B is neither an immediate neighbor of A nor of F. So B cannot come in this position, that was right. B cannot come here, B cannot come here, and B cannot come here. So B's position is right. And E is not an immediate neighbor of F. So E must be here. D is definitely here. So I think this is not second to the right, it is second to the left of D. C is second to the left of D. The order is here. Now let's look at the previous slide here. We have got our order. So what will be the answer? What is the position of E with respect to A? So E with respect to A is immediate left. So immediate left will be the answer. Who is sitting to the immediate left of C? So if you look at immediate left of C, the answer is A. Answer is A. And how many persons are seated between C and F? Between C and F there are 0 persons. So answer will be A. So we get the answer for the 3 questions. The way the question is ordered to understand how do we tackle one when people are facing towards the center, and how do we work with clues, the meaning of immediate neighbor of someone, what these terminologies means. इन सब term का मतलब क्या है और approach क्या है वो आप देखिए from this particular question. Okay, so now we have discussed the question, we have got the answer. Let's also discuss the previous session contest question. So I am giving you contest questions in puzzle class based on numbers because I can't give you a full set of puzzle as a contest question here. So let's see. This is also a number puzzle, right? So we have a grid of numbers, 3 numbers in the first row, 3 numbers in the second row, 2 numbers in the third row, 1 question mark is there. So what will come in the question mark? Let's see here. Very interesting question. You can see this very creative also. So what is the first number here? C6 and this is 12. आप पहले नंबर और लास्ट नंबर को ऐड करिए, आपको देखिए क्या मिलता है. 6 plus 12 is 18. Okay. Now you take the difference of 12 and 6. 12 and 6 difference is how much? 6. Now you multiply 18 into 6. What do you get? You get 108. That is how the middle number has to be obtained. Sum of the first and last number multiplied with the difference of the first and last number. Sum and difference. Sum of the first and last number. So again you see here 8 plus 10 18 and 10 and 8 difference is how much? 2. So the answer is 36. That is how we get this second number here. Same thing if we do here 10 and 6 16 and difference of 10 and 6 is 4. Don't worry about plus minus here, just look at the gap, okay. So 16 into 4, the answer is 64. That is answer option A here. So nowadays we have also discussed the input output question advanced type, which is also based on numbers. This type of understanding of numbers helps you a lot in tackling the input output questions based on numbers also. You can watch the video of input output session 3 to understand what type of question I am discussing here about. ठीक है, एक सीरीज होता है, इनपुट में 6 ब्लॉक्स होते हैं, हर ब्लॉक में 2 डिजिट होता है, फिर स्टेप 1 में 3 ब्लॉक होते हैं, हर ब्लॉक में 2 डिजिट. तो वो एक क्वेश्चन टाइप है जो हमने डिस्कस किया है इनपुट आउटपुट सेशन 3 वीडियो में. आप उसको सॉल्व करिए, देखिए दैट एंटायर क्वेश्चन इज बेस्ड ऑन व्हाट, योर कैपेबिलिटी ऑफ वर्किंग विथ नंबर पजल्स. आप नंबर्स को रिलेशन कितना जल्दी ढूंढते हैं, ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है उस इनपुट आउटपुट क्वेश्चन टाइप के लिए. Okay, now we'll take a contest question for today. This is again a number puzzle, very interesting one. Look at the numbers. We have a triangle, the 3 numbers on the outside of the triangle and 1 number inside. Same is there with the other 2 triangles also. So you have to find out in the 3rd triangle what number will come inside that triangle. Okay, so that is the task for this particular question, and you have answer options below: A, B, C. Solve, find out the number which should come inside the triangle and post the option number like A, B or C as comment in the comment section. We'll see how many of you get it right. Okay, so use the relation of all the numbers. It's a very interesting question and you have to develop number puzzle solving abilities to be successful in exams. ठीक है, तो बहुत अच्छा क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करिए और आंसर ऑप्शन पोस्ट करिए कमेंट सेक्शन में. ऑलराइट, so now we'll go to the next slide, in which we'll continue with our discussion on circular seating arrangement. So we'll take a slightly more complex question compared to the previous one in this particular set. पहले जो हमने क्वेश्चन लिया था वो थोड़ा सिंपल था, उसमें भी केसेस थे पर वो सिंपल था. नॉर्मली एग्जाम में थोड़ा सा उससे अबव क्वेश्चन आएगा. तो राइट नाउ वी आर डेवलपिंग अप्रोच. So we'll see now what is the approach for this question. इस क्वेश्चन में क्या दिया है, 7 persons are there. Now we don't have 6 persons, 7 persons. A, B, C, D, E, F and G are sitting in a circle. 5 of them are facing the center while 2 of them are facing opposite to the center. अब यहाँ पे सभी लोग सेंटर नहीं फेस कर रहे हैं, 5 are facing towards और 2 are facing opposite. तो ये एडिशनल टास्क जाता है यहाँ पे, ये पता करना है कि कौन सेंटर की तरफ फेस कर रहा है और कौन बाहर की तरफ कर रहा है. C sits 3rd left of D and both are facing the center. E is neither an immediate neighbor of D nor of C. The one sitting exactly between D and F is facing opposite to the center. G sits 3rd right of A and G is facing the center. One of B's neighbors, right, is facing opposite to the center. Then we have, since it's a bigger set, we have 6 questions here, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. 5 questions are there based on this set. So what we'll do is we'll solve and find out the answer for this question. So we'll first make 7 positions here, 1, 2, let's take here 3, 4, 5 here this side, 6, 7. Okay, so let's make it a little more equally spaced. So we have 7 persons who are there around the circle. We have to find out who is facing which side and what is the positioning of each of the persons. Clear? So first of all, the first clue is C sits 3rd left of D and both are facing the centers. I will start from here. Let's say D is here. C sits 3rd left of D. Since D is facing the center, this is right, this is left. Okay. So 1, 2, 3. So we will say that C is here and C is also facing towards the center. Clear? Both are facing the center. So C sits third left of D and both are facing the center. E is neither an immediate neighbor of D nor of C, so E will not be here. Let us put a cross here, E will not be here. E is neither an immediate neighbor of D, so E is not in these two places, nor of C, so that means E can't be in this position also. Clear? So E cannot be in this position and E cannot be in this position. So where all E cannot come, let us find that out. So E is not in these 4 positions. So what is the only position left for E? This is definitely the position for E, but which side is E facing, that we don't know. So we will not mark that, we will not make an arrow here, we will not say which side is E facing, that we will discover as we progress further. The one sitting exactly between D and F. So there is one person between D and F. So F cannot come here, F cannot come here. The simplest way to understand would be, let us say F is here. In this way there is one person, there is only one person between D and F, and this person is facing opposite to the center. This person is facing opposite to the center. Okay, the person sitting exactly between D and F is facing opposite to the center. जो उनके ठीक बीच में है उसका direction दिया हुआ है हमें, is facing opposite. Who is there we don't know, but what is the person's direction that we know. So just erase a little bit of these things that we have done here, so that it's not cluttered, आपको समझने में दिक्कत ना हो. E, now we know where is E, we know where is F. Clear? We also know the position of C and D. Now comes the clue here, which is very important. So in every set there will be one clue which will be a deciding clue. In this set, this is a deciding clue. G sits third right of A and G is facing the center. So G's position third to the right of whom? Of A. And G is facing the center, but we don't know which side is A facing. Now there are multiple options for A. There are 3 options in fact. This is one option, this is the second option, this is the third option. So one by one we have to take different options and see which option will work out. Okay, that is how we actually go ahead with the question. Okay, so let's say that A is here. Now we don't know which side is A facing, that is not given to us. Clear? G is third right of A is given to us, but which side is A facing is not given to us. So there are 2 options. A could be facing towards the center or A could be facing away from the center. Both options we have to consider. So how do we know which side is right? Right could be on either side. This side could also be right, this side could also be right. We don't know which side is A facing based on whether A is facing towards or whether A is facing away. Right can be either in the clockwise or anti-clockwise, we will check both ways. So if you see third to the right of A, this is first to the right, this is second to the right, this is third to the right if we go in the anti-clockwise direction, but what we know is that this place is already occupied by C. So going on the right hand side in the anti-clockwise direction is not possible. So let us go in the clockwise direction and see. Okay, if this is right, if A is facing opposite to the center, if this is right, first to the right, second to the right, third to the right, this place is also occupied, both places are occupied. What does it mean? It means that A cannot be here, this place cannot be for A. What is the second option? The second option is, let's try A here. Again based on whether A is facing towards the center or A is facing away from the center, right can be in the clockwise or anti-clockwise direction, correct? Both options are open. So if we see right in the anti-clockwise direction, okay, so we have first right, second right, third right. Very good. This place is empty, but what is the problem? The problem is G is facing the center and this person is facing away from the center. That means going anti-clockwise will not work. Let us check in the clockwise direction. That is when A is facing away from the center. So first to the right, second to the right and third to the right. This is already occupied by D. Both ways not possible. So what does it mean? It means that we cannot have A in this position also. That means the final position of A will be this one. So let us just use back the bluing. So A must be here. There is no other option for A. A is facing away from the center, and if you look at the position from A, first right, second right, third right, this has to be the position for G. So now we have finally found out the position of G in this particular question set. So what we will do, we will just erase this so that it becomes clear and it is not difficult for you to understand what is happening. Alright, so what we now know for sure is that G is here. How did we do it? That you can see, we have taken two cases, both the cases did not work out for A. So finally we get to know what is the position of G. Alright, and what we also know is that G is facing the center. So this person is facing towards the center. So we now know everyone, where is A, where is F, where is C, where is G, E and D. The only person left out is B, so obviously B will go here without any doubt. Okay. Now what is given to us? One of B's neighbors is facing opposite to the center. Now B has got two neighbors, one is D and one is E, and one of B's neighbors is facing opposite. Now D is not facing opposite to the center, that means E must be that person who is facing opposite to the center. Now what did the question tell us in the beginning? That 5 are facing the center while 2 are facing opposite. The 2 who are facing opposite are A and E. That means the remaining 5 will face towards the center. That is how we get to know which side is F facing, which side is B facing. So now the question is solved. We know for every person which side they are facing as well as what is their position in the circular table. Clear? So once we know this, we can solve the question. So if you go behind and see which of the following pair represents persons facing opposite to the center, the answer will be here E and A. E and A are facing opposite. So that is the answer here, E and A. Who is sitting second left of A? Second left of A, first left, second left, answer is B. Clear? Now what is the third question? Who is sitting to the immediate left of E? E is here, so immediate left of E is G, so you can mark the answer as G. What is the position of F with respect to B? F with respect to B is 1, 2, third to the left, or 1, 2, 3, fourth to the right, third to the left, fourth to the right. We do not see that in the answer option, so answer becomes none of these. And if all the persons are asked to sit in a clockwise direction in an alphabetical order starting from A, the positions of how many will remain unchanged? So from A in clockwise direction, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, what we notice is that the position of two persons is not changing. C and E remain in the same position. Remember, it is excluding A, so we can't consider A here. So the answer will be 2. So all the questions we will be able to answer, we will know who is at what position, which side they are facing, and that is what we say is a good level of difficulty in terms of seating arrangement. Now we have questions even more difficult than this, which I will be discussing when I conduct the second session on seating arrangement, circular seating arrangement, where we will take advanced level of questions from this topic. Alright. So today we have discussed the basic types, average type questions from circular seating arrangement, the approach of and the concept of when they are facing towards the center or away from the center, and how do we start solving the questions. Clear? So now the time for the class CPP, that is the class practice pack, and there are 10 questions from circular arrangement that you can solve to test your understanding of this topic. Those who have passport access can start solving the question now. The question which most of you get wrong, I will be discussing in my next session. So best of luck to you and thank you.